right there. You guys want to do live streaming, you guys want to do anything, please reach out to us. Thank you so much. And I have a special guest today, Jason from NextSale and Ashley Snow. It's amazing, this product. Let me tell you, we came up with, for months now, we came up with a great solution for it, for the training aspect where every customer counts. Why? Because this app really gets your B-backs back in the door. Dealers are spending anywhere between 40 to 60,000 on Google AdWords, social media, Facebook, and SEO. What happens when you get the customer? You get 100 customers, right? You sell 25% closing ratio. What happens to 75 customers? Well, guess what? We came up with a solution, guys. You can reach out to your customers that don't buy on reviews. You can reach out to your customers on a video. And we all know about email video, how great it was. Now there's an app that can do the same thing, which is engaging with a consumer. Now, I have Jason here. Jason, that's a great app that you've developed. It's amazing. I'm so impressed because it's just not a review app. It increases the B-back.
It increases the B-back because it makes everybody accountable for the things that are extremely important, which is one of the biggest words that's often forgotten is the word thank you. And thank you, it depends on how we say it. Like, Richie, if I was out to lunch with you right now and I just said thank you to you, you know, everybody says thank you. I get thank you for my coffee in the morning. I get a thank you for this. But I never get a sincere thank you from the salesman. And so when I thought about this, isn't that what we're in business to do? Isn't that one of the biggest things is saying thank you to somebody, but not saying it at the time? Because when you say it at the time, it doesn't mean anything. It means it the day after or a few hours later.
Correct.
But look at the camera. It takes 2 seconds.
And you know what, Jason, I'm glad you brought that up, because the biggest thing is whether you have a lot of knowledge, you have that consumer, and you're selling knowledge to them, or you're selling the dealership, or you're selling whatever. Remember something. Customers don't care until how much do you care. And what your app is promoting is how you care about the customer by telling them, thank you, Mr. Jones, for coming to our dealership. Please give us a review. To the customers that don't buy, you want the customers that don't buy to give you a review, because now you got the voice of the customer. Now you know what you did. It's your report card. Okay, and that's what's important. It's about the report card, because let me tell you something. Review marketing is live and well. Not only that, you know your consumers that don't buy. Everybody gives out reviews to customers that buy. They should be happy. Okay, they're probably not happy with the process, but now reach out to your customers that didn't buy on a review and send out at the same time a video telling them, thank you. We want your review, you didn't buy. We're not every dealership. Our reviews are key, Mr. Jones. Now, what are you doing? You're being proactive. Okay, that's why this course is great. Every customer counts, because it really does. It helps your service penetration. You get more vehicles in operation. Not only that, you get your ROI. You sell 25 cars, and from the residual of using this app, let's say you sell 15 cars, which you should sell it. It's much easier to sell a B-back than anything, right? So 15. Now you guys got a tool to increase your B-backs. It's a no-brainer. And we have gentlemen and trainers like Brandon, like Fran Taylor, like all these guys that do workshops and everything. They'll be in your dealership doing training and showing you how important the B-back is. Guys, you have a solution today for the B-back. You know, might not be there tomorrow. Get it now. Email me, call me, 631-578-9018. Ashley, what's your number?
561-403-4708.
Jason, your phone number?
Is area code 518-528-4708. 4445. That's my direct cell phone number for you guys.
And you know what the other thing is about Jason about this app is it does SMS, correct?
Yes, it does.
And could I send a video in an SMS?
Yes, you can send a video like that.
Is there the room of it? What is it? A minute or half than a minute?
Couple minutes.
Couple of minutes, guys. And you can also, here's the beautiful about this, you can also share it on your social media. If you have a great story as a salesman or your dealership has a great story, let's say you hit the presidential award from Honda, tell the customers, put that on video and sell that to the customers. 99% open rate, guys, on ringless and video. Everybody wants video. Just hear me out, guys. You can do that. Just imagine the opportunity you get and the engagement you get. It's another way of following up a customer. And your buyers today, what's the average? 25 to 45. They're buying 2 to 3 cars together every year and a half. Let me tell you, and guess what? They're very app-oriented. They're very big in technology, these people. So, guys, let me tell you something. Review your customers, and if you don't have a be-back process, okay, you're getting 20 leads, 30 leads a day in your dealership, concentrate on that be-back. That's a tremendous opportunity because you want to know something? You already broke the ice with the customer. The whole idea is get them back in the door. And just remember, your competitor might not have this, and you have it. That puts you on an advantage of this app. This is a great app. It's great technology and will be in your store. Well, I mean, Jason will go to your store and do the implementation with Ashley. Ashley, what are your thoughts about this app? You've been working for this for a while now.
I love this app. It's an all-in-one marketing tool. Basically, the reason why I love it so much is because it really does help the salespeople make more money and improve their relationship with their customers and with the dealership. Because they're not only representing the dealership in a positive light, but they're representing themselves as well. And therefore, they're building these positive relationships with their customers. Their customers are going around saying how awesome their salesperson was. You know what I mean? It goes around full circle. So I love it.
And the beautiful thing about this, I've been in a lot of dealerships where this happens. They have a delivery schedule for today. A customer calls, insurance is high. I can't do the insurance thing, blah, blah, blah. The salesman right away tries to call his insurance company. That happens 100 times a day. Guess what, guys? Take a video of the car they're picking up and tell them congratulations. Boom. You're planting the seed back. If they're talking themselves out of a deal, they're going to see this and say, wow, wait a minute. This is a real solution, like everybody knows, all right? I get a lot of vendors up here, and I only recommend products that I know is going to work. Because if not, I won't. With Cars Direct, he's fixing me a testimonial. The other company that does the smoke list, the smoke thing for the cars, he sent me a testimonial already. It's on my YouTube. It works. It works. That's the thing. It really, really works. And why does it work? Because I check everything out. It took me months before I put Cars Direct on here. I referred him to 2 stores, and he did really good. With Jason, I've had access to the app on my phone quite some time, and I use it for my own business, okay? And you want to know something? I get a tremendous return on my investment, and it's very, very feasible. Just understand something. You guys really got to understand what's going on in the market. You got the marketplace. We don't know what to do with it. We really don't, because they tell me in every dealership, that's just a price customer. Okay, well, guess what? Price customers become a new car customer, okay? They're just shopping. Well, guess what? Shoppers and tire kickers are customers. Now you have something that does it. Not only that, increase your productivity in a dealership. Now you know if you got 3 salesmen, Larry, Lo, and Mary, okay? You know if what Mary's doing based on the analytics of the app. There's a dashboard. Is that correct?
Yeah, there is a dashboard.
Now you can see, okay, so let me invest in Mary in training. Lou, I got to set him up as a green pea, okay? And Larry is doing okay. But let me invest in Mary on online training because she's got the enthusiasm. Now you're also analyzing and figuring out your training, if it's working or not through this app. You see the productivity. The last thing you want to do is walk into a showroom, Mr. Dealer, Mr. General Manager, and see a group of salespeople hanging out and drinking coffee and talking about what happened.
Yeah.
When I was a salesman, I could care less if the building was burning down. If I had a customer, done. If I didn't have a customer, I'm talking to service customers or on the phone.
Yep.
And the reason that I did that was to keep my enthusiasm up. There's only two ways you're going to sell cars: enthusiasm and learning curve. And this app gives them the learning curve. Give your salespeople this tool. You're not being fair with yourself if you don't try everything you possibly can to get your B-backs in the door. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to say this, there's going to be a day when you realize that we're not selling cars anymore. Stop selling cars. When you stop selling cars, you will make more money. When you start selling yourself, that's when you make more money. Because people want to deal with you. They want the experience. They want everything. They want it to be quick. They want transparency. And I used to say, until the other day, I said, my app makes them do their job. And my friend Rebecca Chernick says, you know what, Jason? Stop saying job. Say their livelihood. My app helps their livelihood. It helps them do all the great things that they're supposed to do. They have to do it. If they don't do it now and they don't get started, when will they start? When you're begging your managers and you're begging people, please, let's get started, let's get to work? No, we need to start getting to work now. And you're able to monitor that and see who's doing their job, livelihood, and who's not. Because at the end of the day, we seem to promote the wrong people. And numbers don't lie on the dashboard. If somebody doesn't do anything that they're supposed to do, the numbers will show. And the person that's working hard, the numbers are going to show. Who are you going to promote? The one that's doing all the numbers, or the one that's doing nothing? So many dealers make the mistake by giving it to the wrong person. And then you know what happens from there? Loyalty. Loyalty is what was the other word that besides loyalty?
Retention.
What's that?
Your retention.
My retention. The other word that comes without when people are happy. The environment, the culture. Mm-hmm. The culture changes because guess what? They all know he didn't do anything. And you know what? Why am I reporting to somebody that didn't do anything? It's not fair. So that in their life, yes, I understand it's not fair. But we're going to put people in place that do the job and what to do what they're asked to be done.
And you know what? I'm glad that Jason brought that up because this app is not just for the car business. I have it instituted in a catering hall. Okay. Now, I want you to listen to something. I have a lot of vendors that watch my show, like Cars Direct, True Car. I mean, I got them there. Okay. AutoWeb. Okay. I have everybody on AutoWeb. Let me tell you something, vendors, watch this. You're selling a product, right? You followed up, you already did your presentation and all that. I got to think about it. I got to speak to my manager. I got to speak to this one. Guess what? Send out a video. If you're selling dashboards, you send out a video about the dashboard. If you're selling a website, you send out analytics. If you're selling SEO, you send your product on a video. Let me tell you something. When you identify, here's how you really sell. Awareness, just point it out. Awareness, they sell themselves, guys.
Yes,
I'm on the phone all the time. I go home and I start prospecting. You know what I do? People tell me, how do you do it? Well, I don't do it. You know what I do? I just make them aware. When you make people aware, of what's going on in their environment, that's when you're really going to sell. That's it. Awareness. Awareness is key. I make people aware of something and they right away fix it. I go by this. I make you aware and you decide. When you sit back and think about what I just said in this show, you're going to say, this makes a lot of sense. Common sense. The other day, I had a good friend of mine that called me up and said, you know, Richie, you're everywhere. You're all over the place. Guys, you know why I'm all over the place? Because I got about 30 people behind. Listen, you can't make money if you don't multiply people. Okay, there's only two ways to make money. Either you were born rich and now you go and get $10 million in a growth fund and now you're rich. And the other way is by multiplying people, by having people do what you do. It's not going to happen, guys. Let me tell you, guys that are one-man shows and they think they're doing good, you better wake up, because if you can't multiply people, you know what's going to happen? You're only going to be 150 and 250 a year. And I don't want to make 150 or 250 a year. I was making that when I worked at Stephen Polk's place, R.O. Polk and Company. I did that when I was with PCS Global. I did that when I was with the Nicholson Group. I'm not interested. So I'm going to be all over the place. And when I feel that there's a new product or something new, I'm going to keep going and keep going. Because the more I keep going, the more enthusiasm I generate. The more enthusiasm I generate, I get more energy. The B12 of business is enthusiasm. And the only way you're going to get enthusiasm is by a learning curve, period. And you know what? Years ago, I failed. You know why? Because I had somebody that didn't want to multiply people, wanted to be a two-man show. That doesn't work. Yep. Because you know what? At the beginning, you got growing pains. You don't have enough money, undercapitalized and all that, but it starts working. So guys that tell me I'm all over the place, yeah, I am. But you know what the difference is? I got a team that does it. I don't do it. I have a team that does it. Dealers. Okay? A dealer, a one-man show can't be. You can't be a one-man show. A dealer can't be the dealer, the salesman, and the fix ops, right? Well, it's the same way in any business. You can't be a one-man show. And vendors, Cars Direct, let me reach out to you with this app. Get all your reps on this app, and I'll cut you a deal because you guys are my friends. This is great for B2B. This is amazing. This is a follow-up. I call it a give me 1 minute. Call it a follow-up machine that creates enthusiasm. Now, Jason has developed this, so let's get to him and find out this product, how unique it is. Jason, go ahead.
Okay, I have something really exciting to say. I mean, if you're in the F&I, and you've got products that you want to sell, well, they go into the finance office, and the finance office has 2 minutes to try to sell a product. Well, what if you could take your product and put it on all my thousands of apps that are out and stick it there, and the salesman can show that product to the customer every single time the customer is there. Instead of wasting time, maybe show the paint sealant, maybe show what a warranty can do, maybe show them all the great things, that products that you have to offer. Because those products can be put onto our app, then show it to the customer. Do you imagine you multiplying? Remember, we were talking about the multiplier effect. This is a multiplier effect because if you take 20 salespeople and they're showing that product all day long to a customer, well, the customer now knows really what the product is. And then when they go into the finance department, they don't have to not understand what it is. They already know what it is, but guess what? They know it better because the video that's in there teaches them for real what it's all about. It's more detailed. It's better than we can speak it. And so banking, with banks, it helps them out. Insurance companies, if we can't help you with a rate, we can get you a better rate on your insurance. The app has that in the app. If you want a better rate on insurance, you're trying to work a guy $50 in payment, and the dealer's not going to move, and the customer's not moving. Well, guess what? We have it in the app. You call the insurance company, you lower them $50, and this is what I'm talking about. It does all these great things and does so much more than reviews. Reviews brings people in, increases the BDC department, the leads that come in. You have to have that anyway. That's a standard. Don't think it's reviews are the way to get people in. Reviews now today are a standard.
And
We
you know
make it a
what? I
standard.
want to say this, and it's a proven concept. Let me tell you why it's a proven concept. There's a company called Co-Video. The owner, his name's Jason Price. He's got one of the best products in email video that you've ever seen. Okay? He's amazing what this guy's got. Okay? For over a decade. Okay? He's got good technology, but it's getting old. Okay? Now, that really works. There's a lot of stores. Let's take the Rick Case stores. He used that years ago, and he did very well because when a customer sees a video, it's big. Email video is big. There's so many industries that use that. Well, guess what, guys? This has email video, has SMS video. Watch this. Has reviews, and you can monitor the productivity of your salespeople. Now you know if they're an hour on the app, 2 hours on the app, it's all follow-up. Remember something, don't expect anybody to do nothing, inspect it. The day you expect your people to perform, call me so I can get my partners to buy your business. Okay? That's what you got to do. Okay? If you don't inspect, you're done. But if you have that process of you're expecting your sales department to perform, your service department to perform, my number is 631-578-9018. I won't buy anything, but I'll turn you over to my equity partners. Okay? Have a lot of money. Okay? So call me so I can buy, so they can buy the place and then hire me. Okay? Because that is a bad process. Inspect your people. The day you don't inspect your people, you will go out of business. And here's the thing. A lot of owners don't know how to inspect. That's where my company comes in, because I got a team of trainers that make a living inspecting. Okay? I have in my company a consultant company that I hire that costs me a lot. It costs my partners a lot of money to just show us what to inspect. I got 3 CEOs. Let me mention them. Dominic DeLeo, Bart Pellegrino, and Michael Ohnhine. They all very successful for 25 years in business. That's what I got. That is the real dream team, because they execute. Me, I just have the vision. I stand here and I put products together, this, that. But you know what, guys? That's not what it's about. Hire companies to inspect. The day you expect your salesperson to perform, or your service department, or your managers, is the day that there'll be another owner in your company. This product inspects. Your sales department inspects. Your service department inspects your managers. Because as the dealer, you have the dashboard. Now you know. Now you know reporting. Now you know analytics. Now you know the data. Since Henry Ford, our industry has all been about data. That's why companies like R.O. Polk exist, and IHS bought them. You know why? Because we're the automotive intelligence. Data. That's our intel. Okay? Consumers in the market. You want to do marketing and you want to advertise people. What do you want to advertise? People that are in the market based on registrations with IHS, or you just want to hit or miss anybody? I know what I want to do. I want to hit a target. I want to hit an Intel missile instead of a Scud missile. Okay? Jason, what he has developed, it's going to change the industry. You know what, guys? Sign up, because right now it's very feasible. I promise you something, with the vendors that we're tapped in that help me with the Institute, by the time this show's done, I'll get on the phone and sell it to vendors. You know what? We're thinking about major CRM companies like Salesforce to put this together, because people call Salesforce, they follow up on an email, go to meeting, here's my calendar, here's that. All nonsense. With this app, you just send them your product. Guess what? A customer's going to call you. Or it's new and you're being proactive. Look at your reps. Look at all that. The B2B is very important because it's so different to sell B2B than B2C. It's not funny. So it's got a selling cycle. Okay, so this will increase your selling cycle. If it increased the selling cycle in the catering industry, it's definitely going to increase the sales cycle in the car business. It's definitely going to increase the sales cycle in the B2B. So this app's going to blow up, and then you guys are going to call, and it's going to be over expensive. Get on it now. There's dealers that have it now. We have testimonials from dealers that are doing really good with it. Now, guys, you want to know something? We don't want 100 dealers. There's 19,787 franchises in the United States. We want every single one of them. So we're coming up with a package. Call Jason or Ashley. We're coming up with a package for these dealers to get on. We want to put every dealer on, because you know what? Your ROI is going to get better. You can promote more, you can advertise more without the fear that your sales department is not maximizing the opportunity. Now you can invest more. Why not? Now your average cost per car, if it's $350, it's going to go down to $150 or $200 because you're being more effective. You're increasing your productivity, and you're making everybody focused in the dealership when there's no customers on promoting themselves, like Jason said, and selling cars and selling themselves and merchandising. This is a merchandising tool, a marketing tool, a review tool, and a video tool. And the other thing is, everything's on live now, okay? That's the newest thing, all right? They call it a podcast live, whatever you call it, all right? But let me tell you this. You're also training your salespeople without you even realizing to do videos. When you have salespeople that do videos, then it becomes a habit. They're going to want to go on video. Guess what? Then you're setting up your people to go on live. You're making them video friendly. It's a whole mindset. And it's a whole opportunity. There's so many different facets with this app and so many different opportunities that you can't afford not to get it.
I got something something really important to say to all of you is this, is that when a new salesman comes on, they're excited about their job because it's something new for them. And what usually happens is they go upstairs into a training room and they learn about things they never even thought they would even learn about. But here's the best part about the app. The app gets put in their hands immediately. They immediately have digital business cards. They have graphics. They got videos. They've got an army of tools to work with the day they start. Instead of handing somebody a card and writing their name on the back and saying, hey, my name is Jason, come see me. And it winds up, where does the card go anyway, people? It goes in the garbage. We all know that.
And on that note, we're going to take a little break. We're going to go on a video of NextSale, which is amazing. Take a look at this video, and Chris Gonzalez is in studio and will be joining us. Guys, be right back. Just hang tight there.
back to Auto Dealer News, Gameface Monday. So happy to be here with you, Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
Richie, thank you for having me.
Thank God you showed up. I was like, what? Where is it?
I'm here. I'm in the house, and I have to say, Jason, I watch you all over the place.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
we all know the auto industry has changed dramatically. I mean, it's just, it's not the business it used to be.
Nope.
And I always like to start whenever I talk about social platforms and reviews and how technology has changed our business.
Yeah.
I like to talk a little stats, right? And it's simple. A sales force of, let's say, 30 between sales and BDC. Each one of them who sells a car, if we were able to get that piece of content and distribute it across our platform, we use the power of compounding. We just multiply our audience. And you got, let's say, 30 people in a dealership. Each car that gets sold, I think the average person has about 300 people following them.
Yeah, about 300-400 average.
You take those 300 times 30, you got 9,000 people that you can get in front of on every single sale. And your number one app in the world can distribute this content across
Every single
all
time.
platforms.
And more than just that, we build content already that's built into the app for the salespeople to use as marketing tools. So it's not just the customer with the car. It also disposes, videos about them, testimonials, and it does everything. Everything's built into the app.
So elaborate on that. What kind of tools could I find in your app?
Well, for example, marketing tools is such as them explaining who they are as a person, and why they should buy from me. And this way, when a customer calls on the phone and they don't know that person, they can actually do the meet and greet on the phone, because today what's happening, these people are already coming in and they just want to get moving. They're on the move, and this is a great way to get them to hey, there's Jason, and before they get there.
You're attaching a voice,
a
face to that product.
100%.
Right? So you're compounding the brand. You're taking whatever shingle that is you work for, and now you're putting your face and you're creating an experience
by the
around
millions.
The brand, the person, and the consumer.
By the millions.
By the millions. How the millions?
How are the millions? Well, let's do the math on it. If you've got 30 salespeople, and 30 salespeople have 500 friends, let's just say, right? So 30 times 500 is 15,000, right?
Correct.
15,000 people. They each have 500 friends.
Correct.
And you ask them all to share those images. Now you multiply that. That's just in sales.
Right.
Well, now we got service. You got parts. You got the PDC department. You got everybody doing this, sharing. And the word share, I try to teach. I remember speaking to Glenn Lundy, and Glenn Lundy is a great guy on, TV. And I remember Glenn Lundy said, he took something from me. He didn't say, Jason, you know what I took from Jason? We need to stop getting people to like our stuff. We need people to get them to share it.
Right.
To share it, to like it. What does a like really mean? A like is nothing. A like, if you like it, so what? I'm glad you liked it. Good.
It's actually an automated response.
It's an automated response.
More effort.
A share takes more effort. If you're getting that effort,
right.
That's what the app is all about.
Right.
It's about taking that effort, and making it easier.
Right.
Because if we make it easy, then the app will work. Right. And then the salesmen will love it. They love having their own videos. They love their name being blown up. They don't want the manager's name on the billboard down the road. What, are you selling cars? No, you're not out there. You're the manager. You're supposed to be watching them.
Right.
Let's blow up the salespeople.
Right.
Let's brand them. We always concentrate on what we managers and who does this and who does that. But at the end of the day, it's the salespeople who always will be.
You're building up those people on that front line. I mean, getting them in front of more people. That's what building a brand is about, building awareness.
Right.
I never heard anything
even
different.
if you're B2B, I don't care what you are, because this app I've had for about 3 or 4 months, I came up with a full course with some of my trainers, and we had meetings about it. You know what? Every employee counts. Guess what? Every customer counts. Why? Because if your employees really count, that means that your customers should count also, and we're not being fair. So what the app does is promotes testimonials, okay? Promotes review marketing. promotes B-backs, because you know what? You got a testimonial from a customer, you send it on the app, your marketing testimonials. There's nothing wrong with that. The app is not only a marketing tool. I'm going to tell you what the app is in my eyes. As a professional salesperson, the app is a merchandising tool, then a marketing tool, then, Mr. Dealer, you're inspecting your people's productivity by seeing 1, 2, and 3. Who's giving me the best result, and how many times are they in the app, and who are the customers that they're reaching out
Richie,
to?
let me say this. Before we even get to all of the benefits, right? I think the initial buy-in needs to be, all need to require new skills.
Yeah.
Right? Learn new skills.
100%.
Use different marketing tactics.
Yeah.
I mean, how much a sales manager was saying, pound the phones, pound the phones. How about send a direct message?
What?
Send a message to someone with a picture of them who just purchased a vehicle or a video.
And it goes out
say,
500
hey,
people.
Share this
And
on your
500
platform.
people, and 500 people see it, and you want them to make 20 phone calls? You're going to call me in the middle of the day and say, Jason, do you want a Nissan? I mean, I know your lease is coming up. You know how many people call me with that stuff all day? I don't have the time for it. But if you said to me, Jason, can you share this? And you only taking 1 minute to share it, and I got 50 shares, 50 times 500. So that means 1 minute, and let's say it's taking 1 minute per. In 50 minutes, 25,000 people will see it.
That piece of
Multiply that by all your salesmen in 1 hour.
Right.
250,000 people see your stuff. It's all mathematics. People talk about numbers. The BDC department, are they the #1 source of leads today in the dealership?
Absolutely.
Then why not make it mandatory that every lead that comes in, they got to go out and do a video walk around, and they've got to explain, they've got to show them the car, and then they got to say, you know what? This is who I am. When I get here, I'm ready for you. The car will be pulled up. You know what I mean? People get mad because they go to a dealership and the car's not even in there anymore. How many people have you had coming to a dealership? They leave pissed off because guess what? Where's the car?
So.
Well, maybe if they would have went out and touched it and known it wasn't there, maybe you wouldn't get yelled at. Can you blame them? Mm-hmm. This app protects them. This app has a share feedback button that people can hit to protect them so that nobody can write a bad review. This app tracks the demo drive. I know where you went, how many minutes you were on the drive. I know where your car is parked. I know if you parked it at service, and if you didn't, go repark it. Because that's my fixed ops, and I need my fixed ops.
What the app does also, it creates passion for the salespeople. When you have a passion, all right, the money becomes greater than the passion you ever had. Now, let me tell you, January 14th and 15th, I was invited to go to a workshop with my good friend, Fran Taylor. He's an amazing trainer, okay? I had plans that day for my birthday because it's the 14th, my birthday. But guess what? I am going to this event in Orlando. It's going to be an amazing event. Told me, Richie, I would like you to come in and speak a little bit. Sure, no problem. You know why? Because I have a passion for the industry. Because I'm seeing this industry take all kinds of leap and bounds. And you know what? If you don't develop skill, like Chris said, all right, and the biggest skill is get your sales force good on video. Get them good on video, because when they go on video, it's a whole different way of looking at things. Let me tell you something. This app gets them used to video. Yeah. That's what it does.
You know, from a stat standpoint, a picture tells 1,000 words, but a 60-second video is the equivalent to 1.5 million text words. You got to get your staff. I believe that should be a requirement when you're interviewing new staff. Mm-hmm. Come in. Do you have any problem with speaking on camera, taking videos, promoting?
Yeah.
Do you have any social platform? I mean, these should be requirements.
I'm going to tell you something, and proof. I'm going to give you the proof of that. In 2009, I started my business. Everybody knows that I don't write, so I had to hire people that wrote for me on social media. I didn't really do any business or nothing. I was spinning my wheels. The last 2 years, okay, my company went from barely making it into something where I have employees now, and I grew. And you know, when I started doing live, I was still nowhere. I had clickable, look smart. I had all these things. I started going live. That's when I grew. That's when opportunity, because people don't believe when you write.
Yeah,
Because anybody can write for you. Really, I don't know how to write. Okay, good. I make enough money to have 10 writers. Who cares? Okay, right? So I don't write. Okay, good, right? Put me in front of a customer and I'll show you what writing is about and reading. Okay? That's what I need, customers. I blew up, and you're right about that, because I never knew that. Okay? And really, the truth of the matter is, with this live and these videos and all that, that's when you get your company to the next level. And if you have content, it's even double, because now it's confirmed of what all the stuff that I used to write on social media, which I didn't write, but I would give them a subject line, right? Subject and a subtitle and like that, and they would research it, right? Because so when I went on live, that's what happened. This app
Put the content in it.
puts the video. You can have your story on there, or how many times does this happen, Chris? Customer says, I can't get insurance, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? Okay, watch this. I'm a salesman. You know the first thing I'm doing? I'm sending the customer their car fully detailed. Your car is ready to pick up.
100%.
They're not going to think the F&I guy told me. Instead of me spinning my wheels and getting on the customer phone, getting different insurance, I'm going to talk myself out of a deal. Because that broker that's it. You're done, right? Now there's a whole different angle. You show a video of a brand new car, and that customer's driving a 4-year-old car, and he's with somebody in the car. He's going to tell them, I'm thinking about getting this car. Oh, now you see a video. Your car is ready for pickup. At what time will you think you're coming in? 3:30 or 4:30. Now you're being proactive with that. It's all about planting the seed.
Right. Jason, with your app, am I able to share content with my staff?
Yes.
Can I take a photo and a video testimonial of a client and distribute it to my staff for them to okay.
You can,
so let's go back to the numbers, right? And the reason I want to go back to the numbers is this is fact. Building a social database is the equivalent to email capture was in the early 90s. And those companies that built an email database fastest grew the quickest, right?
That's 100%.
So it's not the big companies that are eating the small companies today. It's the fast ones that are eating the slow ones. So the slower a business is to adapting to change in that new environment or building that social database, the further they are to progress, right? And the next guy is going to beat him to the punch. So if I had a piece of content, let's say my dealership sold 10 cars a day, right? I have 30 people employed at that dealership.
You give them the content.
I take those 10 pictures and videos, and it could be a simple video that says, thank you, XYZ Motors, for my brand new XYZ, right?
Exactly,
I now take that video and I distribute it to my 30 people that work for me. Those 30 people distribute it on their social platforms. I go the power of compounding. I take 10 videos times 30 people is 300. 300 times 300 followers each one of those 30 people have. I got 90,000 people I touch in one day.
100%.
Times 30. 270,000 people I could touch.
Chris,
in 30 days.
Chris,
270, and I didn't spend. Did I spend $1?
Chris, Rich, I
didn't spend $1.
I've got to tell you guys something. I got my GED from school.
Right.
I got my GED.
Good for you. I did. I never.
But I want to know. I want to tell you what happened. But I was great in math, and my math teacher loved me. I love math. I love numbers. I knew numbers way back as a kid because I had a great uncle who was very smart and very wealthy and very, he was all about numbers. He was all about the pyramid stuff too. Even though he hated the pyramid, he used the pyramid in everything we ever did. So that pyramid that we're talking about works in all business. But I'm going to tell you what we did. I put the pyramid in the app because I want everybody to see my content. But I also made it that we know the BDC department creates the appointments.
Yes.
We know that if we make a video and show it to the customer, that this is your car, it's here, it's ready and available, the closing ratio of appointments are going up. All I care about is the appointment. This is it. Are we going to get them in? By going out of your way and making a video will ensure more people coming in. Now, it gets even better, right? When they leave, they automatically get a thank you video from the customer every single time because you owe it to them. And nobody says thank you. I don't care if you got a CRM, they still don't use it. They're not using it. This is on the phone, 6 buttons, easy to use. An 80-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old can use it. Why did I build it for a 3-year-old? I had to. Because you know what? I remember when I graduated high school, I wind up back in high school. Got my GED from high school, but guess what? The car business people, it seems like we're going back to high school again. Why do we have to sit there and why do we have to make excuses and make excuses for people every day? If you're a leader, you will stop making excuses. Once the excuses stop, then all the problems will stop. But we keep making them. We keep making them. And we keep saying it's going to get better. And we're going to keep walking around NADA and we're going to go to this one and we're going to keep looking for the answers. And the answer's right there on your showroom floor, your salespeople. Let's blow them up. Let's get them excited. Let's get them trained. We talk the big game. The app makes it possible.
And you can hold people accountable. You could see who's using it, who's not, what they're, I mean,
that's it.
You know.
That's it. If you don't know who's doing your job, I couldn't sleep at night. Listen, I can't sleep at night without knowing this. This is the question I ask. How many people did you ask for the sale today? And I'm going to say this. How many people did you ask for the sale today? And if you're going to tell me 3, when social media can have 50,000, I promise you, you won't be working for me too much longer. I'm sorry, but you work for me. It's in your livelihood. You have rent bills like I do. And my job is to make you understand why you need to ask as many people as you can. I didn't say you had to force them, but I need you to start asking.
Right.
Put the cigarette down. Put the coffee down. Stop going hiding. Just, you got 8 hours in a day. Some people wish they can spend 8 hours in a dealership. Just drive down the road and look at some homeless people. And guess what? I bet you they'd appreciate the job more than some people do. And those are what my app does. It tells you who is on your team and who is not. And if you're not in it to win it, we're going to lose. And we train every day. I go up in these dealerships and there's dust on the training desk. We train every day. You need to know what's in their head every day. Before I start my day out, Richie, how you doing today, bud?
Watch this. Now, I want to tell you something. Now, on the flip side, when you walk into any service department, I started service right now. When you walk into any service department, Chris, you need brakes, you need this, you need that. But these other 3 things, you can wait till next time. Let me tell you something. In fix ops, do you know that it's just nobody follows that up? Customers are out on the road. If they come back, they come back. Or they can get your information and go to Pep Boys. Now watch. You get this app for 2 departments. Right?
It works great, sir.
And you put it on a calendar based on the miles that people drive. You average it out. You say, okay, so Chris is up on this date on my calendar. Guess what? You get notified. Now you put all the information about the customer, detailed what that RO was. Okay, you put your BDC people to work with this app, and now you send them a video about the service advisor. Hi, Mr. Jones, this is a quick reminder. When is it convenient for you to come in? Let me tell you something about fix ops, okay? The whole idea about fix ops is to get your absorption up at 100%, because the day you do,
that's it.
The day you do, you can sell cars really like candy bars. Because it don't matter if you take a deal. You
Love you, John, for that one. Selling cars like candy bars. Johnny.
There's a store out in Long Island that's a Mercedes store, okay, that hits 100% of absorption, month in, month out. Does it in service department about 2.9 mil. month in, month out. He don't care what the gross of the car is. He takes every single deal because that shop makes him so much money that he's increased his market share ridiculous. But guess what? He has a follow-up process. With that said, he's got to follow a process that if you leave and there's still 3 items for next time, they have a calendar, and that's where I learned this from. Listen, a good consultant is not because we're geniuses, it's because we learn from the successful dealer, and then we bring that idea into the dealer that needs it.
So Richie, just to touch on that, I know we talk a lot about sales, but there are manufacturers out there. If repair orders are closed with certain op codes, right? So for instance, those brakes came in and they're borderline, like they don't have to be done today, but on the next visit, we should strongly consider. If the service writer would close that repair order out with the right op code, it would actually trigger retention mail. So going back to your point, it's the one area where a lot of dealerships don't focus, and that's really where do you get your next sale from? It's 1, experience, 2, service. I mean, we spend tons of money driving traffic to our showrooms. To close at 30%. Meanwhile, we have service departments that are closing at 100%.
Yeah.
I've never met a customer that walked into a service department and said, I was just looking. I'm just shopping around.
No,
they're spending money. So why not spend a little time and effort into that experience to drive people back to your service department? Now you get the power of, if you have a strong service to sales process, right, where you're looking to acquire trades on that drive, you're treating your service drive like an auction lane, right? And you're bidding on these cars. And I'm not saying stealing them. I'm saying giving the right dollar so you can acquire that.
Correct.
You get, once again, you talk about numbers.
Chris, what the app does too is very simple too. The service advisor is considered a salesperson too.
Right.
They sell service.
Right.
Their job is also to thank the customer for coming in every single time. Their job is to make sure that they can share a service special. Can you imagine if you have tires and you give it to each person that's there for like $100 a day, 100 times 500, 50,000 more people. Wait a minute. We can have it. You know what? Customers are always afraid. They don't believe anybody. They just don't. They know they're going for the wallet. So here's my point here, is that the app goes out to the mechanic. They can let the mechanic talk about the problem. They can send it through the app. The owner can watch that video and determine is that service advisor doing their job, and then if they're not, let's critique them. See, that's the best part about this app. When we know they're not doing their job, does it mean we get fired them? No. It means we train them and we fix them. Why is it a guy's been in the business for 20 years? 20 years. I go into dealership all the time. And I say, how many cars you sell a month? And he says 12. Are you kidding me? 20 years, you sell 12 cars a month.
Here's what's even better. Why is it that the first 60 days, a green pea that has never sold cars sells 30 cars?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Because it's a process, he's excited and he's ready, and he doesn't know anybody yet.
Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm.
He's listening.
I put salespeople in my company. Their enthusiasm carries them. The only way that you're going to get productivity out of somebody is with enthusiasm. And you know the key of enthusiasm? The learning curve. What happens is when you're green, you grow. When you're not green, you don't grow. That's why know enough that you never know enough. Because the truth of the matter is we don't live long enough to know it all.
No.
We live very short. Our life with what we got to absorb is very short, okay?
Right.
So you don't live long enough to know everything. And the other thing is, when you don't share what you already know, you will forget it. And let me tell you why you're going to forget it, because it's not refreshing your memory, and you're not role-playing, and you're not disputing the content and telling people the information and saying, here, that's the difference. So, that being said, what your app does It creates enthusiasm because they're learning of a new way. It creates the learning curve.
Habits.
Right.
We need to develop habits.
Right.
That create discipline.
Right. Correct.
It creates productivity.
Correct.
Productivity brings more sales and does it all.
Correct.
All I care about is discipline and productivity, then get those habits started.
Right.
If we don't start getting habits somewhere, then we're all on drugs.
Yep.
I'm sorry, we're all on drugs when we don't do our job.
Do you have any?
What's that?
No.
Listen.
Get him here.
Whoa.
So we can sit here and discuss it amongst ourselves, but the bottom line is I think we all believe in your app.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for dealers to really start looking at the numbers, start figuring out what's going on their sales floor, think about their current sales process, and think about what useful tools they could bring into their business that would help leverage the numbers. As we spoke a lot about numbers. Leverage the numbers, how to build up your staff, how to create excitement, how to create enthusiasm, and really make it about an experience, someone else's experience. You said, they may not believe me, but they will believe their friend who just got a car. If we can just get that person and our staff to share the content that we provide or that we currently have, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's no limit as to what we can get out of it. And I think your app covers all the bases. It holds people accountable. It gives them the content. It's a platform to distribute. Simple. Easy to use, right? I mean, I don't care how old you are, how young you are.
Fun
it's
for their
simple.
own videos. They get graphics.
We can get a picture, a video, a logo, an experience. Click, boom. It's now in the hands of someone else to view by millions of other people.
And right about now, and in just a few more months, I'll say we have finally almost hit 1 million task complete.
Wow.
Okay. When somebody once told me that it was never going to happen, now I'm going to say this live. And I want you to test me, 'cause I love it. Love being live.
You do, right?
I love Richie. Richie, this is it. In 2014, I operated in the United States of America, the most engaged automotive Facebook page in the nation. Nobody could touch me on Facebook. This app was built on a Facebook platform that I knew what was going to work and how numbers work with the word share. That word share is so powerful in social media. Social media is driven by the word engagement. If nobody's liking your stuff, that means nobody's listening. It's like going to a concert, Chris, and your daughter's playing the violin and everybody's talking while your daughter is playing the violin.
Right.
And you're going to get pretty annoyed after a while. Why is it that dealers still suffer by making their salesmen put it on their own feed? I want the customers to talk.
Yep.
I don't want it on your Facebook. They already know who you are. My mother never bought a car off me. My own mother. It was just she wanted a different brand, not because I was a bad son. But the truth is this reminds people every day what they do for a living. We need to remind people. That's why when you go live, it reminds them every day what we do for a living.
Great. We're gonna finish and wrap this up. Thanksgiving. All right, guys, have a great weekend for Thanksgiving. But you want to know something? We're having a special day on Wednesday here. Okay. And let me just say this. Okay, there's gonna be a special edition of El Patron Show right here at Studio Wednesday. So you got to watch this. It's going to be a special announcement there going on. I mean, Wednesday he's going live. Special announcement. El Patron is going to be here Wednesday in his show. It's going to be amazing. He must have something special because he called up and he said, listen, I want to do the show before Thanksgiving. Special edition El Patron. And there's going to be an edition of automotive training news. You guys got to watch this. We got some guest. Eric Nichols has lined up some guest that's going to be here right here through Skype, but he's going to be on live. So, guys, have a great day.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Jason. I absolutely want to thank, more than that, Mr. Chris Gonzalez. Because this guy is amazing.
He really is.
I haven't seen his live lately. Chris, you got to do a live soon with that motivation.
We're live now.
No, but I
We're live more than we've ever been.
have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
See you next Monday. And remember to keep your game face on. You guys be great. Cool stuff, man.
That's it.
I had to cut it out because I got another live.